When she believes a friend or a piece of truth is in jeopardy, Taylor Swift has never been one to remain silent. The entertainment industry has been ablaze with rumors of a heated legal dispute between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni over the last few months. The constantly changing controversy, which revolves around a movie adaptation of a best-sellered book, has enthralled observers. As acrimonious claims and counterclaims swiftly replaced the initial excitement, leading to Baldoni's significant defamation lawsuit against Lively. In a stunning turn of events, Taylor Swift has allegedly come forward with information that could call into question Liv's entire story, making some wonder if the lawsuit is still viable. The foundation of Lively Initiated is either partial truths or no truths at all. Swift's choice to come forward is being hailed as a pivotal moment that sparked conversations about credibility, loyalty, and the true backstage operations of a highly anticipated movie. Despite the initial excitement surrounding the project, reports suggest that Lively and Baldoni quickly disagreed on creative matters. He established his reputation on genuine emotional depth and heartfelt storytelling, while she is renowned for her chic comedic roles. It initially appeared to be a match made in movie heaven. Lively, a popular actor, was cast in the movie, and there were rumors that her husband, Ryan Reynolds, occasionally contributed comedic touches. Baldoni, for his part, was committed to bringing the novel's poignancy to the big screen while preserving its focus on human development and deep connections. The synergy seemed strong for a while, as Lively and Baldoni complemented one another in public interviews. Social media fan communities celebrated, certain that they would receive a novel adaptation of the beloved that struck a balance between romance, humor, and reflection. Disagreements over tone, however, were simmering beneath the surface. Lively, or at least those close to her, wanted to update the narrative. Baldoni was concerned that adding too much glitz would obscure the genuineness that made the original content appealing to readers, so he added more vibrant comedic moments and high-fashion components. Each side privately believed the other was ignoring important creative input. As the gap between their visions grew, Lively eventually filed a lawsuit, saying she felt marginalized. In response, Baldoni provided meeting minutes, behind-the-scenes logs, and text messages that demonstrated Lively not only actively participated in but also supported decisions pertaining to humor and fashion. The $400 million defamation lawsuit that Baldoni later filed, in her opinion, cast a long shadow over the film and increased the stakes to the point where the conflict ceased to feel like a typical Hollywood argument. Fans and insiders alike found it difficult to tell who was telling the truth after rumors started to circulate that Blake Lively may have lied about her involvement under oath, as the sum alone suggested an extraordinary level of perceived harm. Where Taylor Swift fit into this puzzle was initially unclear. Swift and Lively have been well-known friends for years. They have even worked together on lighthearted projects and exchanged social media shout-outs. When it became apparent that Swift, or someone from the Swift network, had offered suggestions for humorous dialogue or possibly had unofficial input on specific creative decisions, the rumor mill went into overdrive. Then came the shocking revelation that Swift was more aware of Lively's private remarks and may have even seen correspondence that went against Lively's stated positions. Several unnamed sources claim that Swift started to feel uneasy about the lawsuit as a whole, believing that the way events were portrayed in the media did not match the reality she had seen firsthand. According to reports, Swift made the decision to come forward with messages, transcripts, or memories that directly contradict Lively's story after giving it considerable thought. Swift is not only a powerful individual in her own right, but she also has a significant impact on public opinion, so the news has been seismic. The idea that the initial lawsuit might not have been as simple as Lively's legal team claimed gains a lot of support if a close friend of the star is prepared to dispute the star's account. Swift has not publicly criticized Lively, but insiders say her voice in this case is clear and steady. It is implied that she felt obliged to provide clarification on incidents in which she was directly involved or witnessed, refusing to allow false information to remain unchallenged. According to a source close to Swift, her early participation in the project was cordial and casual, involving the occasional brainstorming session, a humorous story exchange, or a casual discussion about how to adapt specific parts of the book for contemporary readers. This source claims that whenever Swift offered a funny comment or an ingenious scenario, Lively was excited. The statement Lively later made about being taken by surprise by humorous additions she allegedly objected to is called into question because there was no indication of resistance or coercion. Swift is said to have voice memos and text messages that show Lively's joy at these lighthearted concepts. Information that would directly contradict Lively's claim in court that she was coerced into making the comedic change. Fans who have long appreciated Swift and Lively's close friendship are inconsolable. Some fear that Swift's choice to reveal Lively's contradictions could sever a treasured personal relationship. According to some, Swift is merely defending factual accuracy in the hopes that the truth will result in a settlement that spares all parties from additional legal complications. Nevertheless, Swift's statement has gained popularity on a number of platforms, igniting discussion about whether friendships entail unconditional support or if loyalty to the truth, and perhaps to co-workers like Baldoni, takes precedence over the customary code of silence. Meanwhile, Baldoni has seized on the revelations, announcing that his legal team welcomes any and all clarifications from individuals who hold relevant information. Even though he hasn't specifically mentioned Swift, the industry takes his comments as a call for the singer to formally submit any records she may have. If these documents show how Lively first promoted humorous elements and ostentatious wardrobes, then Baldoni's lawyers seem to agree. It will support the claim that Lively deceived the court by downplaying her contribution to those imaginative decisions. For its part, Lively's camp flatly denies any wrongdoing. They contend that Swift has only heard a portion of the production talks and has not witnessed the entire range of modifications or the development of the script. They contend that a brief text about opulent fashion or humorous lines fails to adequately convey the annoyances and disagreements Lively experienced on a larger scale. They make note of the dynamic nature of filmmaking, pointing out that adding more humorous beats, cameos, and ostentatious costumes can transform an initially lighthearted concept into a drastic change in tone. According to them, the lawsuit was intended to show how Lively's overall creative vision was sidelined once the project gained traction, not to disparage comedic input. It is still unclear if Swift's revelations merely show how creativity has changed over time, or if they conclusively demonstrate that Lively's claims were false. After all, a lot of movie projects experience substantial tone changes between the original idea and the finished cut. A lead actor's feelings months later, after countless rewrites and additional responsibilities, might not be reflected in an early text or meeting log. Swift's own viewpoint might be restricted to specific instances, particularly if she was providing unofficial input, rather than being a formal member of the creative team. However, the argument that Lively's lawsuit is fraudulent rests on the possibility that she actively supported or promoted the very things she later claimed were forced upon her. Baldoni's defamation claim is still very large. He claims that Lively's public remarks and court documents damaged his reputation and the movie's financial chances by $400 million. That enormous figure expresses how strongly he feels he was mistreated or misrepresented. It is not merely for show. Baldoni's claim becomes more credible if Swift's testimony or supporting material substantiates his assertion that Lively was fully aware of what was going on and actively contributed to directing the movie. Credibility is highly valued by courts, and Lively's arguments may be disproved if it is discovered that she purposefully left out or misrepresented important facts. However, it is impossible to overlook the larger context. Lively might have felt eclipsed by Swift's star power and Reynolds' comedic flair, even if she had initially embraced comedic or stylish elements, worrying that her primary goals for the position would never be realized. As a production's complexity increases, there may be a shift from initial enthusiasm to eventual discontent. Some legal experts note that having a change of heart or perspective is not the same as lying about facts in court. If confirmed, Lively's repeated claims of making false statements while testifying under oath would have grave repercussions. Swift has a unique perspective because, despite not being an official co-producer or an acknowledged writer, she has a close relationship with Lively due to their long-standing friendship. But then, to a certain her participation puts her in a position to have witnessed Lively's enthusiasm change firsthand, whether it was as an unofficial source of comedy or as a sympathetic ear during the production's development. Swift's assertion that Lively was taken by surprise could be completely undermined if she actually has records from private messages in which Lively commends humorous rewrites or jokes about opulent wardrobe pieces. Additionally, Swift has a high level of public credibility. Her admirers frequently perceive her as someone who carefully records events and upholds moral convictions. There would be severe repercussions if she could show beyond a reasonable doubt that Lively had deceived the court. Lively's staff is currently on high alert. There have been reports of late-night meetings between her attorneys, crisis PR specialists, and perhaps even Reynolds himself. They are reportedly going through every voice message, text message, and bit of video to find any weak spots. Their objective is to put together a coherent chronology that can take into account any fresh information that Swift may present. They will probably contend that months of more intense creative struggle are not negated by fleeting moments of humorous approval. Additionally, they might present Swift's viewpoint as lacking, arguing that a friend's informal observations are insufficient to convey the full scope of a major motion picture production. However, the question still stands, will Swift's contributions be more covert, or will she really be on the record in a court of law? Some speculate that she might submit a written statement instead of appearing in person, protecting her from direct cross-examination, perhaps as part of behind-the-scenes negotiations. Others believe that Swift may enter the public eye as a result of the case's high profile, particularly if she firmly believes Lively's statements misrepresent the facts. Swift is well aware that her words have enormous power. One statement or social media post has the power to completely change the public's perception in an instant. The movie itself is running out of time, and if the legal dispute drags on, studios and investors might conclude the project is just too embroiled in controversy. Regardless of star power, a movie that is overshadowed by ongoing legal drama may have trouble at the box office. If viewers start to care more about who lied or exaggerated than the emotional journey of the story, the movie's commercial viability may suffer. The taint of these disputes may persist even after a settlement is reached, undermining marketing campaigns and casting a shadow over red carpet debuts. Swift's role has come to represent an honesty and loyalty test. Fans call her the moral compass of this whole story in certain social media corners. They wonder if Lively herself could have confided in Swift so deeply about feeling marginalized that Swift is now caught between her discomfort at seeing lies spread and her personal connection to Lively. Taking the initiative could be a sign of integrity if Swift believes the lawsuit is based on dubious allegations. On the other hand, Swift's choice to speak up could make an already complex situation worse if she is only seeing a portion of the situation. These aren't your typical celebrities, though, and the entertainment industry is keeping a close eye on them. Swift, Reynolds, Lively, and Baldoni all garner a great deal of public attention. People are discussing the potential consequences for Lively's career because of the possibility that videos or text threads demonstrating clear contradictions to her sworn statements could surface. On the other hand, Baldoni's defamation claim may not be as strong if Swift's evidence is more subtle and shows only a minor discrepancy between Lively's testimony and the real events. Depositions, cross-examinations, and the introduction of additional materials that demonstrate how flexible or fixed Lively's position was throughout the production could be the next steps. The discussion has progressed far beyond straightforward disagreements about creativity. In an era of limitless digital documentation, what started out as a normal argument between a director and a star about the tone of a movie has evolved into a warning about the dangers of partial truths. To refute or validate someone's official account, any text message, voice memo, or casual note can be brought back to life. Whichever side you think deserves validation, Swift's alleged cache of screenshots or recorded exchanges could be a weapon or a shield. One bright spot could be that fans of the original novel might still see a film adaptation that captures its essence in the future. If everything is resolved and everyone finds a solution that works for them, then production could resume under more open terms. Fans are still hoping for an adaptation that strikes a balance between poignant scenes and enough humor to keep a wide audience interested. The outcome of the lawsuit and the fallout from Swift's disclosures will determine whether that is still possible. Until then, what was already a dramatic legal dispute has been electrified by Taylor Swift's decision to speak out. A crucial test of Lively's credibility is her insistence on addressing inconsistencies or outright lies. Given her cautious public persona, some insiders are certain that Swift would not make such a move, absent unquestionable evidence. Others wonder if Baldoni's team is intentionally using Swift to bolster his argument. The phrase "Swift exposes Lively's fake lawsuit" has taken on a life of its own as the tension rises. trending on websites where legal experts and pop culture aficionados analyze every rumor, piece of evidence, and possible motive in Hollywood, these disputes occasionally end with quiet settlements. But that doesn't always put an end to the unanswered questions. The public may never fully understand the reasons behind Lively's contradictory statements and last-minute comedic changes. Even if she and Baldoni are able to come to an agreement, Swift's possible contribution to exposing the truth, or at least her version of it, guarantees that interest in this case won't go away anytime soon. Whether Lively's lawsuit is based on false allegations or if she just had a real altercation that hasn't been proven yet. With a dynamic director, a charismatic actor, a quick-witted spouse, and a globally renowned singer who might have the secret to unlocking the many twists in this intricate story, all eyes are currently on the cast of characters. And at the heart of it all is Taylor Swift, whose choice to speak up has the potential to change the course of events in unexpected ways.